Hello and welcome back to this video series where I showcase my guitars that I've refretted with a focus on set-necked instruments. Today we have a guitar with a different kind of significance and a story all of its own. This is my 1997 Paul Reed Smith McCarty Goldtop, which I've named Gloria. Before we get into Gloria's history, hello, my name is Eric. I am a stainless steel refret specialist based in Singapore. This channel is dedicated to my little niche of making guitars and basses play effortlessly. So let's get into it. Back in 2021, after being together for 8 years, I finally got married to my wife, Kelly. And in 2022, we went on a honeymoon to America, the land of rock and roll and of course, cool guitars. Naturally, I took the opportunity, since we were visiting many cities along the West Coast, to also visit many music stores and checked out all manner of cool gear. Prior to that trip, I'd been following a number of guitar shops on Instagram, but Thunder Road Guitars always stood out to me in particular. Here's a quick shout out to the cool cats who run the Portland store, because that is where I found this guitar. When we arrived at Portland, I had zero intention of buying a guitar. But subconsciously, I had been keen on a Goldtop PRS for a while. And of course, if it was a McCarty, it would be even better. So I took it as a kind of divine intervention that not only was this guitar hanging there, but the staff told me that there's no sales tax in Oregon. So what a score, right? I took it off the shelf, I played it unplugged, and was sufficiently convinced that I went back out the store to grab my wife, who was, chilling outside the car. I thought to myself, if I'm going to buy a guitar on my honeymoon, I should at least get the wife's endorsement. So I brought Kelly back into the store. I showed her the guitar. I played it through an original 1965 Princeton reverb. And it was such an experience. It was such a legendary sound from this amp. And of course, the guitar sounded fantastic. And that's when I made the decision to buy the guitar. Now, a particular quirk of this instrument is that they listed it as a 2007 model, but the fretwear on the instrument at that point in time told me otherwise. I felt like, there's a lot of fretwear on this instrument. So after I bought the instrument, I ran the serial number, and it actually came up as a 1997 model instead. So there we go. After returning to Singapore with the guitar, I played this instrument live on numerous occasions. in my prior and current band as one of my top 3 gigging instruments. This is significant considering the number of instruments that I own. It was around 2024 that I felt like I could not ignore the fret wear that was existing on those original frets, and I decided to give it a fret level and recrown. However, I was simply delaying the inevitable. It just felt like having such low frets after that fret level and recrown, I couldn't quite dig into the bends as much as I would have liked on my other instruments. So I knew I had to put in time to get a stainless steel refret done at some point in time. So it was sometime in early 2025 that I finally bit the bullet and made it happen. I opted for some Jessica 58118 heavy jumbo fret wire. I happened to buy a few different types of fret wire from Jessica around the time I bought this fret wire as well, and this was the biggest size that I had acquired. As of right now, this guitar has a pair of PRS DMO pickups, and I've radically changed the wiring. So to begin with, the pickups are in humbucker mode only, whereas previously this was a push-pull coil tap or coil split. So I avoided the coil splits because I'm just not a big fan of that sound. I much prefer series parallel for that sort of thing, and in this case I decided to keep it simple for this guitar. So another thing I did was to wire the pickups such that the tone knob works only for the bridge pickup, right? I always like my neck pickup wide open, and needless to say, you know, I love how this guitar plays and sounds. A while back, I came to recognize that as someone who has the ability to install stainless steel frets on any of my guitars, the elevation of each guitar also means that each instrument has less margin for being better, which means that being different involves any other attribute other than playability. So in this regard, this McCarty is definitely one of my top 3 choices as a main guitar that I use in my band. It is worth highlighting that I play mainly rock and blues, and there are a few characteristics of this guitar that help it stand out. So the first, as you probably know, that this instrument has a double cutaway system. So this allows you to have really good upper fret access. probably on par with an SG and very good nevertheless. Second, having one volume pot, right? Just having one volume pot is a big deal for me. I like the convenience of dialing in the distortion with a single volume knob. And as I mentioned earlier, having the single tone knob to dial in just for the bridge tone is super useful, right? So if I want a cleaner sound, I would roll back the volume knob and then I would put the tone on full. And if I want a full humbucking sound, I'll, and a full distortion, I'll roll up the volume knob and then I would dial back the bridge volume to taste. Third, this guitar stays in tune really well, right? I don't really have to touch the tuning keys in the middle of a set, and that's just something super awesome because it's rock solid, after the strings are broken in. There's also no problem with intonation, even with the set and forget one-piece bridge, right? So I run a set of 10 to 46 elixirs on most of my guitars, and with this bridge, after I've set the intonation once, it's done. Lastly, there's the tonal presentation. A McCarty is effectively a Les Paul, but with arguably more clarity in cutting through the mix. So everything else, the upper fret access, the simpler control layout, all these things make for a very reliable and enjoyable package for live playing. So that's pretty much all I have to share about Gloria, my 1997 PRS McCarty. It has seen many stages as well as quite a few iterative configurations since the acquisition. Before I end this video, I want to leave you with a question. What do you think about the modifications I have done to this guitar? And do you have a PRS or a PRS McCarty that you yourself enjoy? In my next video, I'll be talking about the 1997 Gibson Nighthawk Standard, which is a very strange guitar to many people. To get the notification for that video drop, do consider subscribing to this channel, and likewise do like this video if you enjoyed this content. Please follow me on Instagram @Roomfulofgear. Stay savvy, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.